Today we're talking about our favorite topic, or at least it's my favorite topic, fabric. And I'm introducing you to a brand new fabric line of mine that comes out late February. This is Ethereal and all low volumes, stash builder collection. And the low volumes was requested by a lot of you, and I've been working on this one for a while. So I can't wait to show you each individual print, and we're going to get to that. But first, I just wanted to tell you that this one was made with intentions, and the intentions are all tied up into the colors. So if you've followed me for a while, or you've been paying attention or buying fabric, I put out 2 lines this fall, one of them just last week. So Clover came out, I think October-ish, and Hope and Feathers came out last week. And I have another fabric collection that hasn't been shown to you yet, that's coming out in March. And the colors I used in Ethereal are meant to kind of work with the colors that are in those 3 fabric collections I just mentioned. Hope and Feathers, Clover, and the new one that's coming soon. If you were, let's say you were making a Dresden quilt with my Hope and Feathers line, and you need background low volumes, these would work just really, let me get it into a better light, really well. Now, low volumes, of course, can work with any fabric line. They're low volumes, they just kind of blend into the background. But I mean like the colors that are used in those fabric collections, you'll find in this fabric collection. So yes, these are mostly meant to be your backgrounds. Of course, you know, they don't have to be, but they work so easily that way. I'm going to let you take a look at each of the fabrics individually, and then I'll show you the different ways that we're going to sell them. All right, here is all the fabrics together, and I thought I'd go through each of them one at a time. All right, so this one is Awaken in Vienna White. Oh, got it upside down. Here's a close-up. And the butterfly is, I'd say, probably around 1 inch. So it could be good for some fussy cutting for if you're doing some tiny piecing. This one's called Embracing My Wild, also in Vienna White, and this is one of my favorites, and it's the first one I kind of drew for this collection. So it's a floral, all kinds of little delicate or dainty bits. And it's got kind of a dusty pink blush shade and a couple of other shades of pink going on. Could also, the main flower could also be good for fussy cutting if you're doing some kind of small piecing. It's not quite 2 inches, or around 2 inches in length. This one is called Free Spirit in Swan, and I've been thinking about this one for quite some time, and it's really pale here, just different butterflies, and this one is actually coming in a future collection in brighter, bolder colorways. But for this low volume collection, I've kept it very pale, very minimal and whispery, and the butterflies are pretty big. I think this makes just a really great background, but if you wanted a fussy cut, you could. I would say somewhere in the vicinity of 3 inches is how big the butterflies are. This one is called Gentle Soul in Cloud, and it is very dainty, very small, 1 single flower, repeated in both directions. It's a rosy shade of pink. I believe if you have my Clover fabric line, this is that darkest shade of the corals. This one is called Just Breathe in Alabaster, and I had actually drawn it for another collection that's coming, but it didn't quite make the cut there, but it did look great as a low volume. So this is one of those prints that you could turn it in any direction and it still look correct. I love those. All right, and this one's another favorite of mine. It's called Let It Go in Milk. And I love it. Love, love, love it. Here it is up close. And it's just tossed flowers, but I don't know, something about the pink paired with that darker orange brown color. I'm ready to use this one. This one is called Live in Sunshine Pearl, and it's geometric, one of the few geometrics. And it looks a lot different from the drawing that I drew. And this one is very whispery, very delicate, and will just fade into a background without being a solid, but pretty close to one if you ask me. I also have this one coming in some darker colors in my next collection. Live in Sunshine also comes in the sweet white colorway. A little different shade of white and different color lines on this one. So that's two. This is the only print in this collection that has the two colorways. And there's both of those together. Now here is a fabric you've seen from me before. This is Looking Forward in Swan this time. So different colors. You may remember this fabric from Cinnamon Tea, and I believe it was also in my Peace Lily Stash Builder collection. But this is the first time it's not the first time it's been low volume, but it's the least amount of colors used in this one. I love this print. It's so delicate, and I think it looks really, really good in this shade. I love the greener leafy bits, and it's just, I'm pretty smitten. Here is another fabric you've seen from me before. This is Moon Lovers in Snow. And this one was originally in my Garden Therapy collection in a very light green. But here it is as a low volume. And I really like this print. You could definitely fussy cut with this print, but you also, you wouldn't have to. That's what I like about some of these collections, is that if you want a fussy cut, you can, but it's not, required of the fabric. They'll just fade right into a background if you want them to. This one is called Nothing to Prove in Cotton. And it's meant to be a dot, but instead of dots, it has zinnias. And I would say the zinnias are maybe between half and an inch big. So they're pretty decent size, but not, anything too big. They can be chopped up and fit in just nicely. This one is called Sense of Wonder in Clean White. And I think I shared this drawing. Of course, you probably can't tell. I shared this drawing on Instagram, but it looked a lot different when I drew it. But here it is on fabric. Very, very tiny. I think this might be the tiniest thing I've ever done. And it's all multicolored, so it kind of just ties all the other fabrics together. But if you're looking really, really closely, it is a 6-pointed EPP star. All right, this one is called State of Bliss in Ghost. This fabric was actually drawn up for my last fabric collection, Hope and Feathers, but it didn't actually make it in there. So I used it for this low volume collection, and I just think it is the yummiest bit of fabric. It, again, ties all of the colors together, but it also kind of creates this yummy texture. I'm in love with this fabric. This is probably my very, very favorite coming out of this line. All right, you've seen this one before. This is Sun Lovers in Clean White. It's from my Garden Therapy collection, but I don't think, unless you just have a really good eye, I don't think you could recognize it because it's just so recolored, so different from its original look. But here it is as a low volume. Before it was in shades of green and shades of aqua, but now it's just mega colors. Pastels. It's just so pretty. I particularly love that fern leaf, but it's a little bouquet with bits, you know, surrounding it. It's going to tie in a lot of fabric lines that I have created recently, and I think I've already told you about that, but definitely the biggest print would make a really, really great backing or, you know, background too. And you could fussy cut this one. It's pretty big, so you would need at least probably 6.5-inch squares to be able to fussy cut this, but doable. All right, this one I actually drew up a long time ago. I would say spring 2022, and just never found a place for it. But it has finally found a place here in this collection. It's called Untamed, and the colorway is Cloud. But pretty excited about this print. It's going to make a really, really great background. I wouldn't say you could fussy cut this one, but I just love the way these flowers look. I love the colors. And there you go. All right, so this is meanderandmake.com, my fabric shop. And yes, my fabrics are sold exclusively in this fabric shop. You can't get them anywhere else. You can type in Ethereal right here, and it'll pull up everything that has that word attached to it. But you can also go to fabrics and scroll down to collections. They're in alphabetical order, and find Ethereal that way. Currently, at this very moment, I've only listed yardage and bundles. I do have plans for a handful of kits. So when you pop in here, those kits might be available. But first, here's the bundle. And you have the option of getting it in fat quarters or half yard cuts, and then you can scroll through these pictures right here if you want to. So that's one way that you can purchase this fabric line. Another way is if maybe you don't want the whole line, or maybe you're looking to grab backing and binding for something. This listing right here is the yardage line. Now, we sell in a lot of different cuts at Meander and Make, but when we're pre-ordering, we only sell in yardage. So you can only pre-order these in 1 yard increments, but you can get, any number of these. The different fabrics are listed right here. When you click on one of these radio buttons, it gives you that print. So this is Awakened Vienna White, Embracing My Wild Vienna White. Now, if you are on a tablet or a cell phone looking at this web page, it may be a little bit more difficult to see it change. You might have to do some scrolling, but they each change when you click on the different ones. So you can order as much yardage as you want of each of the prints. You can just order one, whatever you want. So that option's there for you if you want to order yardage. All right, one quick thing before I move on. This is pretty important. These are pre-orders. They're not set to arrive to our shop until late February. If you purchase a pre-order with, say, some fabric that we have in stock, that's going to hold up your whole order. So if you need that fabric in stock right now, don't purchase with a pre-order. So just a little FYI there. I think that's all I'm going to show you. But yeah, look for some kits. I have a handful of kits that are going to be coming very, very soon. All right, so that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed looking at those fabrics. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments or send me an email, Melanie@southerncharmquilts.com. I'm very good about answering. That's all. I hope you have a lovely week. I'll see you next time.